You ever hear a knock so faint you think it's the wind, but your gut says otherwise? That's how it started for Ellie Kane, out on her patch of hard-scrabbled dirt in Red Hollow, Wyoming, where the sun burns hotter than a grudge and trust is scarcer than rain. She opened her door one night, against every instinct, and there he was, Jack Harlan, half dead, boots split, cradling a baby girl like she was the last spark of his soul. Dust caked his face, his breath was ragged, and that kid, barely a week old, let out a cry so weak it could have been her last. Ellie didn't hesitate. She pulled them inside, checked the baby for fever, felt Jack's pulse, thready as old thread, and wondered what kind of man drags a newborn through hell to a stranger's door. 10 minutes later, the sheriff rolled up, 2 deputies in tow, rifles glinting under the moon, asking if she'd seen a guy named Harlan. Ellie, standing in her doorway, arms crossed like a barricade, looked that sheriff dead in the eye and said, "Nope, nobody here." That lie? It set everything ablaze. 3 weeks earlier, Ellie was just another loner, running her daddy's old ranch after he passed, and her sister lit out for California. She was tough as rawhide, kept a pistol on her hip, and didn't take kindly to folks sniffing around her land. But the drought was cruel that year. Cattle died, fences sagged, and her last hired hand chased rumors of gold. Desperate, she tacked a note at the stage stop. "Need a hand. No drunks, no thieves, no ghosts. Red Hollow, mile past Coyote Bend." A reply came, scrawled tight, "No address. I work hard, don't drink, don't steal, but ghosts? They tell me whether I like it or not. I'll be there by month's end." Something about that note, honest, raw, a little broken, stuck with her. She left the back door unlatched. He didn't show. Then came that knock. Jack came to in her spare room, sun slicing through the shutters, the smell of coffee and oats drifting in. His first words weren't thanks, they were, "Where's my girl?" Ellie nodded to the crib where little Sarah slept, wrapped in her mama's old quilt. "She's fine," Ellie said, "but you got some explaining to do." He didn't give much, just worked, fixed fences, hauled water, held Sarah like she was made of starlight. Ellie watched, quiet, piecing it together. A letter in his saddlebag, torn and worn, spilled the truth. He'd written to a woman named Clara, swearing to protect their daughter from men who'd sell her to settle his debts. He'd run from a life burned to ash, a ranch lost to fire, a wife lost to grief. And now, the Calvert family, rich, ruthless, with political claws, wanted Sarah, claiming she was theirs. Trouble didn't wait long. A slick man in a suit, reeking of cigar smoke, rode up one day, ledger in hand. "Harlan owes $3,000, he sneered. "Pay up, or we take the kid." Ellie stepped forward, voice low. "He works for me. You want money? Ride somewhere else." The man laughed, cold. "He's hiding, always has been. You're sheltering a thief." Jack's eyes burned. "I tried to save her. Lost everything for it. You want blood? Take mine." The man spat and rode off, but not before dropping a note on the gate. 3 days. "Hand him over, or we take it all." A serpent sigil marked the page, like a warning carved in venom. Ellie and Jack turned the ranch into a fortress, barbed wire, buried glass, a cellar for Sarah. They moved like they'd been fighting side by side for years, silent but sure. One night, a stranger, scarred and weary, stepped out of the rain. "They're coming," he said, voice rough. 30 men, maybe more, with fire. "They don't want his debt, they want your land." Jack gripped his rifle. "Why, tell me?" The man dropped a brass token, etched with a crooked V. "We rode together once. I don't want your kid burned." He vanished into the dark. When the day came, 6 riders hit, not 30, but each carried a torch. The leader, red scarf flapping, grinned like he'd already won. "Thought you'd run, Harlan." Jack stepped onto the porch, rifle loose. "I'm done running." The first torch hit the barn, flames roaring up. Ellie slipped through a trench they'd dug, took aim from the chicken coop, and dropped one rider clean. Jack rolled behind a trough, bullets sparking around him. The leader raised his gun, still smiling. "Liar." Jack's shot answered, and the man fell, scarf soaked red. The rest broke, one on fire, screaming into the brush. By dusk, the barn still stood, Sarah was safe, and 6 graves marked the bluff. Years on, the ranch breathed again. Sarah grew, laughing like Ellie, sharp like Jack. They never got rich, but they got whole. Folks in Red Hollow stopped whispering about Jack's past. They brought seed, tools, respect. One evening, Sarah, 7 now, asked, "Was Pa different before?" Ellie glanced at Jack, whittling quietly. "Nah, darlin'. He's always been your pa." That was enough. The land remembered them. Not the blood, not the fire, just two people who chose to stand, to build, to love when the world wanted them broken. So what do you think? Was Ellie right to lie for a stranger? Would you fight for someone else's kid, someone else's debt? Drop a comment. Tell me where you stand. Let's get this conversation going.